Hi all, welcome to session on CS22071 Agile Methodology presented by R. Samundi, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering. Today we will see topic on feature driven development from Unit 2 Agile process. First, let's understand what is a feature driven development. FDD is an agile methodology focused on delivering small, valuable software features quickly. This means the method ensures customer get useful pieces of software in a short time instead of waiting for big release at the end. And next point, it breaks down projects into manageable pieces called features, usually done in 2 weeks. In other hands, work is still split into small chunks that can be completed quickly, which makes progress steady and predictable. Our next point combines industry best practices with strong project management for predictable result. That is, FDD takes proven techniques from software engineering and adds disciplined planning so outcomes are more reliable. And next one, it's emphasize accurate progress tracking through clear milestone and metrics. This shows that progress is not just estimated, it is measured with defined checkpoints giving everyone visibility. And next points, it helps teams deliver quality software efficiently while meeting business goals consistently. This means FDD balances speed with quality so both the customer's needs and business target are met. So that's the overall introduction to FDD. Now let's move on to the see how feature driven development was created and what makes it unique compared to other agile methods. That is introduction to FDD. What is feature driven development? It is developed between 1997 to 1999, primarily a software management method, not just a development life cycle. This means FDD was designed in the late 90s, focusing more on organizing and managing software projects rather than prescribing detailed coding steps. And next point, it combines decades of best practices with modern management techniques. In other words, FDD borrows proven approaches from earlier software methods and blends them with updated project management. And next point, it's known for repeatability and easy transfer between teams and organization. That is, FDD can be applied consistently across different teams and projects, making it highly reusable and dependable. So that's what feature driven development is and why it is recognized as a strong management method. Next, let's move on to another slide. The core concept, the feature. The feature is a building block of FDD. This means everything in FDD revolves around the features. They are the smallest unit of planning, design and delivery. It defined as a small client valued piece of tangible functionality. In other words, each feature is something customer can clearly see, use and get value from. And next point, it must be deliverable in 2 weeks or less. That is, features are designed to be small and quick to complete, keeping the project moving forward in short cycle. And last one is it serves as the raw input for software production in FDD. This means this feature act like a basic ingredients that teams use to build the entire software system step by step. So now we understand that features are the foundation of FDD. Next, let's see how FDD defines these features using standard formulae to keep them consistent and clear. The feature definition formulae. FDD features are repeatable templates, actions the result by, of, from, for, or, to an object. This means every feature follows a simple sentence like structure such as calculate the total for an invoice, keeping feature uniform and easy to understand. It ensures each feature is a small, clear and reduces development variability. In other words, these formula prevent oversized or vague features and makes them consistent across the project. This accurate requirements mapping enables precise estimation and planning. That is, because each feature is well defined, teams can estimate effort, time and resource more reliability. And last one is different layers like UI, PD, DM, SI, have tailored feature formulas. This means whether it's user interface, process design, database or system integration, each layer uses a customized feature template for clarity. So these formulas keep features small, clear and easy to estimate. Now let's move on to next slide, that is FDD 5-stage process overview. FDD uses here structured 5-step life cycle. The number 1 is a shape modeling and number 2 is a feature list and number 3 so plan by subject area, number 4 design by feature set, number 5 build by chief programmer work package. So this converts ideas into production code through the organized stage. So we have seen this 5 main stage of FDD. Now let's dive deeper into step 1, that is shape modeling. Here the requirements discovery through cross-functional modeling. This means both the business experts and technical team members work together to identify requirements, ensuring a shared understanding from very beginning. UML class diagram captures business understanding. In other words, diagrams are used visually represent how different parts of the system relate and making the business logic clear to everyone. And next point, parallel architectural model for non-functional needs. That is, alongside functional requirements, the system architecture also considers performance, scalability and other quality attributes. And next point, it emphasizes breadth over depth. Just enough design initially, that is JEDI. This means the focus is on covering the overall structure widely without going in too much detail at the start, giving flexibility to refine later. So, shape modeling gives us a broad foundation of requirements and architecture. Next, we see the step 2, that is feature list. Here we develop a detailed and prioritized feature list from modeling. This means once modeling is done, all features are listed, organized and ranked in order of importance to the client. And next points, it defines the release scope. In other words, the feature list sets the boundary for what will be included in a release. So expectations are clear for both team and stakeholders. Our next point, early stage cost. The idea creation, modeling, feature list count as the investment in FDD cost evaluations. That is, time and effort spent upfront to create the feature list are considered as investment which pays off later by reducing risk and rework. So the feature list becomes backbone of planning and defines what will be delivered. Next we will move into step 3, plan by subject area. Group features into feature sets and subject area. This means related features are organized into logical groups, making planning easier and development more structured. And next one is agree with project sponsor on delivery schedule of subject area and feature sets. In other words, the team collaborate with stakeholders to decide when each group of features will be delivered, ensuring alignment with business needs. Next points, it set up the mainline development activity and streamlines planning. That is, this step create clear schedule for development, avoiding confusion and keeping the project on track. So planning by subject area ensure both the team and the sponsor are aligned on what will be delivered and when. Next we will move on to the step 4, that is design by feature set. Here the detailed designing for each feature set. This means once features are grouped, the team goes deeper into their design to ensure clarity before coding begins. And next one is define the UML class diagram. Create a sequence diagram for each features. The class diagram is improved for accuracy and sequence diagram are preferred to show how the system elements interact with each features. And next one is feature sets matched with architectural partition for efficiency. That is, designs are aligned with system architecture, so development is smoother, more modular and efficient. So the detailed design ensures features are technically well prepared before coding. Next we will move into step 5, that is build by chief programmer work package. Small batch 5 to 10 features grouped in CPWP. This means features are collected into small manageable package of work rather than trying to build everything at once. It is completed by one feature team within 2 weeks. In other words, a single team delivers the entire batch quickly, keeping the progress steady and predictable. The next points, optimizes coding, minimize weight and setup time, increase the development satisfaction. That is, batching features reduces unnecessary delays, speeds of delivery and keeps the development team motivated. So CPWP allows features to be delivered in efficient small batches. Now let's look at how FDD gives fine-grained control by tracking each feature through its life cycle milestone. The fine grained control feature life cycle. Each feature passes the 6 milestone. Number 1, domain walkthrough, design, design inspection, coding, code inspection, promote to build. Each milestone assign percentage completion, enabling precise progress tracking down to minute level accuracy. In other words, instead of vague estimates, FDD measures progress in exact terms, making project tracking highly reliable and transparent. So, milestone based tracking gives FDD very fine grained control over progress. Next, we will move into another slide, that is repeatable estimation with 5-point scale. Features are estimated on a 5-point complexity scale, example 0.5 to 8 plus man days. This means every feature is sized according to how much effort is needs from very simple tasks to highly complex ones. It avoids local safety or overestimations on small tasks. In other words, developers don't add extra buffer unnecessarily, which keeps estimate realistic and prevents wasted time. And last one is empirically validate, predict the operating expense within plus or minus 10% variance on real projects. That is, this estimation model has been tested in practice, shown to be accurate, making cost predictions more reliable. So the 5-point estimation scale keep planning realistic and accurate. Next, let's see how FDD handles project management through planning and buffering techniques. The PERT charts illustrate dependency and the critical path. This means PERT charts help visualize which tasks depend on others and identify the critical sequence that determines project durations. And next one is add project buffers and feeding buffers from 15 to 100% depending on risk to account for uncertainty. In other words, extra time is added either at the end of the project or before risky tasks. So, unexpected delays don't derail the entire schedule. Aligns with the theory of constraint, critical chain project management approach. That is, FDD uses proven methods from TOC to manage uncertainty, protect delivery dates and improve reliability. So, planning with buffer ensures projects stay on track even with uncertainty. Next, we will see how FDD manages different constraints like file access, developers resource and setup time. File access constraint enforced by class ownership, improving quality and minimizing rework via feature teams. This means each class in the system has a clear owner, so only authorized developer make changes, which reduces error and avoids unnecessary rework. So next point is developer resource constraints addressed by the chief programmer lead virtual teams, maximizing focus and minimizing communication overload. In other words, when developer resources are limited, a chief programmer organizes small, focused teams to ensure efficiency and reduce communication delays. And next point, it set up the time constraint batch features into CPWPS, reduces overweights and boost throughput, that is grouping several features into single work package lower repetitive setup time and speeds of overall development. So FDD manages key constraints through ownership, efficient teamwork and batching. Next we will look at how scope is managed using prioritized feature list. Features are prioritized by client value. Example 5-point score. This means the most valuable features for customers are delivered first, ensuring the highest business impact. It supports the negotiation for a scope buffer, optional features to protect deadlines. In other words, less critical features are marked optional. So if times run short, they can be dropped without affecting the delivery of core value. The time-based prioritization builds trust by clarifying delivery timelines and expectation. That is, when customers clearly see which features will be delivered by when, it increases confidence and strengthens the relationship. So, prioritizing features by value and time makes scope management more transparent and flexible. Now let's explore another slide, that is project tracking and visual control. Here the cumulative flow diagrams track the value flow through project stages, that is visually show how features move from design to build, helping spot bottlenecks and maintain smooth program. Next one is parking lot diagrams. Yeah, one page color coded status report for management. In other words, these simple charts give executives a quick view of which areas are complete, in progress or delayed. And next one is web-based knowledge management system, gives a real-time, detailed and transparent data access for all team members. That is, everyone can see up-to-date project information online, which improves collaboration and accountability. So FDD ensures visibility and transparency through strong tracking and reporting tools. Next we will move into another slide, that is FDD and quality assurance. Right first time philosophy, upfront investment in modeling and analysis. If this means FDD focus on getting the design correct at the start, which prevents error later and saves time in the long run. It is mandatory unit testing and peer reviews for code and design. Every piece of code and design is tested and reviewed by peers, ensuring higher quality and fewer mistakes. Up to 15% of engineering time devoted to quality at reducing bugs, rework and regression, boosting overall productivity. It is a dedicating fixed amount of time to quality assurance upfront cuts down on errors, leading to faster and more efficient development overall. So by investing in quality early, FDD prevents rework and increases overall efficiency. Now let's look into advantage of FDD economic. It reduces the uncertainty, leaner buffer and higher efficiency. This means because FDD makes planning and progress more predictable, teams can use smaller safety margin and still deliver reliability. Early frequent delivery curves, waste from outdated requirements, and late changes. By delivering features quickly, FDD avoids the risk of building features that are no longer needed or relevant. It focuses on rapid feature delivery boost throughput, cuts the investment and operating expense and leading to higher ROI. So that is delivering small valuable feature often increases customer value, lower cost and improve overall return on investment. So FDD economic advantages come from predictability, frequent delivery and cost efficiency. Next we will move into the FDD position in process maturity. It is built upon advanced scheme like features, archetypes, DNC and state charts. This means FDD uses structured models and design patterns which strengthen its foundation and improve software reliability. It moves organization from threshold, that is statistical control, toward ideal, that is predictable stable state. FDD helps companies go beyond just managing variability to achieving consistent high quality performance, particularly fit for Six Sigma and variance reducing organization. That is, FDD aligns well with the industries and teams that focus on reducing defect, maintaining the strict quality standards. So FDD strengthens organizational maturity by driving stability and predictability. So finally, let's look at the overall of this session. Finally, we can conclude FDD for business result. It promotes repeatability and predictability. The key points of differentiation among agile method. This means FDD stands out from other agile methods because it emphasizes reliable process that can be repeated with consistent result, enable robust fact-based executive decisions with solid metrics like features, operating expense, investment, throughput and ROI. In other words, the manager gets measured data from FDD which helps them make informed business decisions rather than relying only on intuitions. As a lean agile method, FDD directly derives better, faster and more profitable software delivery and business success. That is, by combining the lean principle with agility, FDD ensures not only quick delivery but also efficiency and profitability. So in conclusion, feature driven development bridges gap between agile flexibility and management discipline, helping teams deliver consistent business value while maintaining predictability and efficiency. Thank you.